Mr. Speaker, Mr. Foo has spoken passionately about a democracy of deeds, and I want to start by crediting that work. Democracy of deeds is a simple yet powerful idea, that a thriving society is built not just by its government, but by everyone who lives in it through acts of participation. This is precisely what we in government believe Singapore needs more of. A strong Singapore requires both sides to show up. We need a society that sees shaping a shared future as something worth giving their time and effort to. And we need a government that meets the energy with equal seriousness, building structures and a culture to make genuine partnership possible. Now, people are already showing up, and we have seen that through Mr. Foo's examples, and we want to encourage them. We are on a journey to learn how to step back so that citizens can step forward to issues that matter to them. To shift the question from what can the government do for you to how might we partner together. This shift from government for the people to the government with the people is something we're actively leaning into across three fronts: deepening citizen participation in plans and policies, expanding volunteerism, and enabling citizen-led initiatives. The first is how citizens participate in shaping government's plans and policies. This calls for openness from government to share trade-offs and welcome diverse perspectives to shape outcomes. When people are trusted with real questions and agency, we believe the proposals that emerge are stronger, and so is the relationship between citizen and state. While the government has traditionally led in these areas, this has started to change in recent years. PUB's Our Coastal Conversations is an example where the public discussed how we can protect our land against rising sea levels. At a session for City East Coast, we listened to participants whose views shaped our recommendations for Changi Beach Park. We also agree with Mr. Foo that citizen engagement should be at the heart of infrastructure planning and are learning from ground-up trials. Today, HDB and Town Council already engage residents on neighbourhood upgrades. To take this further, MCCY, MND, and HDB are piloting different ways to deepen this engagement as part of neighbourhood renewal programs in Boon Lay and Canberra. We will learn from these pilots to improve citizen involvement in the NRP consultation process. Likewise, we are open to resident-led efforts that strengthen our recycling ecosystem. For example, MSE is partnering Zero Waste SG's trial of dedicated recycling bins for clean stream recyclables in Pioneer. We're encouraged that Mr. Foo's residents have seen early success with their own collection drives and are looking forward to learning from their efforts. Mr. Foo also suggested an approach centered on social impact and ground-up proposals for state properties. We share this vision. Social and community value are already key considerations in how state properties are allocated. SLA will continue to engage social startups and NGOs to understand their needs and work with agencies to unlock more state properties with social impact. Beyond these areas, the spirit of collaboration is just as vital, if not more so, for the next generation. When you give young people real responsibility, they rise to meet it. In 2023, the National Youth Council introduced the youth panels for young Singaporeans to be co-authors of national initiatives and policies they're passionate about. We'll launch the next round of youth panels later this year for more youths to step forward and contribute. Now, the goal here is not consultation for its own sake. It is a government and its people thinking through hard problems side by side and arriving at better answers. That is the ideal we are holding ourselves to, and will continue to create opportunities to do so. The second front is volunteerism. Volunteerism is citizenship in action, and that instinct is alive and well. Many Singaporeans want to give their time and their skills to causes they believe in. Now here, our role is to strengthen the conditions to help it to flourish. We have learned that to sustain it, people need clear pathways to match their causes to their strengths and the assurance that their contributions make a difference. We have been working hard to strengthen the volunteering ecosystem to make it more easy for Singaporeans to step forward and more meaningful for them to stay on. Our island-wide network of 24 SG Cares volunteer centres works with community partners to identify town-level needs, such as senior befriending, and reaches out to interested citizens in areas to meet those needs. For our youth, Youth Corps Singapore has been championing youth volunteerism by bringing together youths to do good. And many of them are already doing so. In 2025, more than 10,000 Youth Corps leaders and volunteers contributed over 75,000 hours of service, impacting some 6,500 beneficiaries. Regardless of age, a giving society is one where people feel connected to something that is larger than themselves. We want every Singaporean who steps forward to find exactly that. The third front is when Singaporeans take it upon themselves to build what their communities need ahead of any policies or programs. For these efforts to thrive, government plays the role of enabler and partner. That means providing funding that's accessible, processes that are responsive, and a willingness to hold space and follow the lead of citizens who are closest to the opportunity. The residents of Tanjong Pagar GRC are a great example of this. No one understands the community better than the very people who live in it. There are many other inspiring examples. Through the National Heritage Board's Heritage Activation Notes, community partners and residents in Katong, Juchet, Clementi, and Punggol have been creating heritage programs, mobilizing 460 volunteers and forging close to 120 partnerships since 2024. We'll be expanding these notes to more neighbourhoods this year, including Tiong Bahru and Teluk Blangah. We are excited about the possibilities. Our young people are perhaps most willing to simply start, to see something their community needs and build it. What they need from us is access to resources and a system that backs them. This is exactly what we're doing through the National Youth Council's Young Changemakers Grant, where youths themselves are empowered to evaluate and approve government funding for projects by fellow Singaporeans. Earlier this year, I also announced that we will launch the Somerset Belt Youth Collab. A team of 15 youth leaders will be given dedicated spaces and funding to activate these spaces at Scape and the Somerset Belt. They are now working with youth communities to plan for the upcoming Youth Month in July. All that I have shared are proof of what is possible when Singaporeans step forward. We want to make it easier for more of this to happen. For starters, we formed the Singapore Government Partnerships Office as the first stop for any citizen who wants to partner government. Anyone can submit your ideas through the Partners portal. SGPO will open doors to the right partners, providing support from venues to volunteers and publicity to bring your ideas to life. If your idea isn't fully formed, SGPO Citizen Circles will offer a safe space for you to refine your ideas with agencies and fellow citizens. Finally, as Mr. Fu pointed out, we launched the $50 million SG Partnerships Fund this year to support citizens and grown-ups at any stage, from starting up to scaling up. Ultimately, the most enduring community efforts are those that belong to people who built them. We want to give those efforts the best possible start and will refine our measures to keep barriers low and support relevant. Finally, undergirding all three fronts is a commitment that we're making to ourselves, that partnering citizens well is a capability that government must build with intention, but investing in structures, skills, and the culture to engage citizens meaningfully. The formation of the SGPO, I mentioned earlier, is a signal of that commitment. MCCY has been facilitating the building of engagement capabilities across government and at all levels. We're training our officers and our leaders, sharing best practices, and providing more opportunities for ground learning. Our goal is to rally agencies to step forward and work closely with our citizens across all three fronts that I spoke about today. We'll continue pressing on to build a public service that is ready to partner citizens sincerely and wholeheartedly and become better partners that our citizens can count on. I thank Mr. Fu again for sharing what his residents have accomplished. He has reminded us that when government and people lean in jointly, the whole is far greater than the sum of its parts. That instinct and belief that we are stronger together is one of Singapore's greatest strengths, and it's one we must never take for granted. A democracy of needs is something we build iteratively, learning as we go, and always searching for a deeper partnership with our people. That is the work ahead, and we will take it on with conviction. Thank you.